Hey guys, this is Myleik, and this is the podcast. If you have been a listener to this podcast for any time, you know I love seasons. I love going from one to the next. And so as summer winds down, I want to take a beat to think about closing out the year and just share a little bit of what I'm seeing. This is a Q4 podcast, and like most of my work, this can be applied anytime. I am doing a lot of business work with clients this year, and people are reaching out to me to finish the year strong, and I'm working with my longer term clients to plan for the year ahead. This is a time where many of us are at the crossroads. Like, we have this feeling of being refreshed by the summer. I don't know about you, if you've had one of those refreshing, rejuvenating summers. I went to Arizona twice this summer. And I don't know what it is about that heat. It was hot. I think the second time we went, it was 118. But there's something about that desert sun that recharges me or rejuvenates me. And so personally, I am feeling rejuvenated by the summer, but some of us are a little worn down and running on fumes professionally this time of year. So I am here to give you some ideas to help you get to the end of the year feeling good or better, okay? This isn't about cramming things in at the end of the year. I know that that's what a lot of people do, and I am picking that energy up on some of the newer people that I'm working with. It's like, oh no, it is going to be September. I have X number of months to like hit my numbers financially to get all these things going, but we are going to do what we always do. We are going to continue to get even clearer, okay? Fall is the perfect reminder of that. Fall shows us that letting go is a part of the rhythm. The trees don't panic about losing their leaves. They know it's how they make room for what's next. And I have 3 tools for you this time around. So if you're listening in the car, listening on a walk, listening at the gym, or if you're just home cooking, I'm going to give you 3 things. Come back, write it down, do whatever you do, but I got you, okay? First tool that I'm introducing in this podcast for your Q4 is the honest audit. I have updated my audit. I used to talk about auditing all the time. I still do. I believe in the audit, the edit, however you want to say it, but this one is fusing in honesty. Because this isn't your typical, let's look at what's working, what's draining me, what's missing. This is bigger than that. This is about you taking a step back. I want you to zoom out and be radically honest about the life you want to live. Even if it feels unreasonable, impractical, or completely out of reach right now. Most of us water down our desires before they even make it onto the page. We start negotiating against ourselves. I want to come back to negotiating in general. We start pulling back from what we really want, and an honest audit is going to say no shrinking, no explaining, no apologizing. Now, I want to come back to negotiating because this is also something that I'm seeing, and I just want to call it out because if you're struggling with this, we're going to talk about it.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Marshalls, where you never have to compromise between quality and price. The buyers at Marshalls hustle hard, working to bring you great deals on brand name and designer pieces. Because Marshalls believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. Visit a Marshalls store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
You will negotiate against yourself, but then we are, I don't know if the right word is sensitive, but we are inexperienced with negotiating in life in general, right? So we might be business owners, we might be up for a job, we might be selling our home, we might be, I don't know, heck, at the flea market. And the minute someone begins to negotiate against us, we have a fit. What do you mean? Why are they doing this? I said what I said. but yet we do that to ourselves. And so I want us to flip the tables. I want you to stop negotiating against yourself and build your capacity and get some more experience with negotiating in business, right? So it's like we need to build our muscle there and just cut the nonsense with ourselves. So it's not that you don't know how to negotiate, because you do. You do it with yourself every time. You talk yourself out of these things all the time. Okay? I want you to stop that. And I want you to get stronger. Take that energy and get stronger at negotiating in life, because that is the expectation. That is the culture. And I've shared this story before. When I was selling my last house, I really just wanted to sell it. I was just over it. And they came with an offer, and my realtor hit me, and I was like, fine. He's like, no, they are expecting you to negotiate. That is a part of the process. And so this is the expectation with jobs. The numbers that they have on the site is the number with an expectation for you to negotiate. Okay. So we're not just taking anything we can get and then talking ourselves out of what we know we want. I went off track for a little bit, but we're back. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself, if nothing was off limits, what would my days actually look like? Who would I be spending my time with? Who wouldn't I be spending my time with? How would I be making money? What would I stop doing for money? What would I have the energy for if I wasn't always running on fumes? We're not worried about the how yet. The how's going to come later. Right now, I just want you to see what's true for you, right? I am seeing a lot of copy-paste goals. I am seeing a lot of copy-paste routines. And if I hear the word consistency one more time, I'm going to lose it. And I say this as a person who believes in consistency, but we ain't got it right. This isn't the podcast for that. I'll come back. But I'm just like, you're just picking up what you're seeing, all these different pieces of content. And I just want to say, all that reading, information, all this stuff you are digesting, it is to enhance what you already know to be true for yourself. It is not to change who you are completely. Okay? If you do this exercise and this honest audit correctly, it will feel uncomfortable. Because once you see what you actually want, it is hard to unsee it. And you're going to have two choices. The first one is you can keep lying to yourself. And the second one is you can slowly start leaning into the work to build what you just wrote down. And since we're doing an honest audit, I want to be real with you. You already know what needs to go right now to get there. You know the first thing that you need to stop doing, get rid of right now to get to this honest list that you just built. So take the time this quarter to sit down with yourself and write it all out. What's the honest truth about the life you want, not the life that you think you can settle for? And I got a bonus. I want you to make it plain. What do I mean? So many of us write down goals that sound poetic enough to be a book title and vague enough to be on the wall of a yoga studio. I'm sorry, I said what I said. They sound inspiring, but they don't actually keep you accountable. You want to step into your purpose, live more fully, be my best self, move with intention, call in abundance. I wanted to stop. I have been asking my clients, I want to hear the digestible version that my first grader can understand. What would my 7-year-old be able to understand if you said, be your best self? If you said you're going to be moving with intention this year? If you said you're going to be calling in abundance? That's the audit. Or just ask yourself, if you like that, I love it. If that's just how you vibe with the fairy dust, I'm with it. But after every one of those, I want you to say, how? Highlight that. Work from that. Okay? And just like fall strips the trees back to their truth, an audit is your chance to strip away what's ornamental and see what's essential. Okay? Number 2, this is your reset. The reset, that's the tool. The reset is about making really small but powerful recommitments. The This is not a dramatic life overhaul, y'all. Small, tiny, but powerful. These are a few quiet decisions that shift the whole tone of this final quarter. This might look like honoring your biology and not using an alarm anymore. If you can, forget the snooze button altogether. This might look like pushing back some kind of appointment or thing that you do that always makes you rush. You don't really have to do it at this time, but you keep it because deep down you've normalized making your own life harder. I'm going to pause because I want you to sit with that. You've normalized making your own life harder, and it makes sense. A lot of us punish ourselves and call it discipline. Punishment feels safer because it's familiar. It's what you know. Many of us grew up with the idea that struggle equals worthiness. So if it feels too easy, we don't trust it. We think if I'm not suffering, I must be slacking. But constantly punishing yourself does not build character. I'm going to tell you what it builds. It builds resentment toward your own life. The reset is about catching those moments where you're making things harder just to prove you can handle it and asking, what if I stopped? We talked about the fairy dust of ease. We love that word ease. What if you really let ease be the option, right? If you have that as one of your goals, how? How are you inviting ease in, my friend? How? Right? So it could look like eating out one less day a week, adding 1 or 2 more fruits or veggies to your diet. It could look like saying yes to someone, not saying yes to someone else before you say yes to yourself. Think of these things like small hinges that swing big doors. The reset, it doesn't need to be big and lofty. It just needs to be real, right? It could be as simple as, I'm not wearing heels this year. I'm not wearing heels to this particular place. I'm not dressing this way. I'm not doing this. What is real for you? And remembering that struggle is not a badge of honor. And I want you to stop mistaking punishment for progress. And we're going to go back to fall because I love this little seasonal moment that I'm having. Every reset you make is like putting energy back into your roots, not just your branches. It's about shoring up that foundation quietly so you can actually grow when the next season comes. My final tool for you is the anchors. The anchors are going to be your non-negotiables. They're not about making your life perfect. They're about keeping you steady when things around you start spinning too fast. Think of an anchor as the thing that stops you from drifting into the chaos. Without having our anchors, every new opportunity, I get the amount of times I'm contacted for things that maybe sound good, but aren't good for me. Things that I may have wanted years ago, things that are cool, but don't make sense for where I'm at. Every opportunity, or even when there's a crisis or a distraction, it'll knock you completely off course if you aren't anchored, if you don't know what your anchors are. Okay. Your anchors remind you, this is what I stand on no matter what. And so let me give you some examples.
Abercrombie Kids is bringing the ultimate first day energy back to school. It all starts with on-trend outfits for that front door photo shoot. Plus, the coolest tees, shorts, and jeans to take them through the rest of the year. Get them ready for their close-up. And keep them comfy, too. Make this grade their best one yet. Shop all things back to school, in-store, online, and in the app.
So, you're about to make a trade based on a friend's text. But which you do you listen to? Is it, we could buy a house in Tulum? Get optioning those options. We could lose everything. Or, let's do a little research. Get your head in the trade and make the investment decision that's right for you. Learn more at finra.org/trade-smart.
Financial anchors. Your girl is all about the financial anchors. What is your monthly savings transfer every month? $500 goes into my savings no matter what. What is your cash cushion baseline? I don't let my checking dip below X. If you're in business, what is your revenue checkpoint? By the 15th of the month, I know that I need to be here if I want to be on track. And if I'm not on track by the 15th, then I know I need to start working to put a plan in place to hustle from the 15th on. Maybe you want some health anchors, a weekly workout, just one, a walk. I walk every time I eat, or a class that signals my body gets cared for before the world gets anything from me. Ritual anchors, a Sunday reset, a morning journal, Friday dinner with your people. Maybe it's word anchors, because even though I was being a mess about some of those like yoga wall statements, some of us do find ourselves rooted in words. I'm one of those people, but maybe it's a statement that you measure yourself against, right? Does this action on my to-do list align with who I say I am? Does this activity align with who I say I am? Does my yes align with who I say I am? You know, your energy anchors, deciding you will not commit to back-to-back draining obligations, no matter how good the opportunities look. Anchors are about staying steady when everything else is moving really fast. And if you don't set the anchor, the current will set it for you. And I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to like where you land. Okay. And just like trees aren't anchored by the leaves, they're anchored by the roots. So the leaves can change, they can fall, they can blow away, but the roots are what hold the tree steady. And this is the work of an anchor. Okay. Now, those are your 3 tools that I want you to think about this quarter. You've got your honest edit, the reset, and the anchors, because this particular season, Q4, is about getting clear on what you want and then making those micro movements to get there. We're not cramming it in. We're in flow, you know? And this is the kind of work that I'm doing with my clients right now. We are working on lives, careers, businesses of all sizes to make shifts that stick, not just strategies that look good on paper. If you know you need someone in your corner helping you build a sustainable strategy and holding you accountable to what you say you want, now is the time. My books are open for now because I have so much capacity, but I know I had taken a break through the summer, and so my books are open. Check out the updates on my website. I updated my website again. I think I told you guys in the last episode about doing things in drafts. And so there is a new draft on my website. But before I go, I have something brand new that I'm going to hard sell you on because it's that important to me, my Money and Worth workshop. This is my second live coaching workshop, y'all, on one of the biggest themes I've seen in hundreds of sessions. People who've made money but still feel like it could all disappear. People who've worked hard but still hesitate to raise their rates. People who crave more cash, crave more ease, but feel guilty for even wanting it. And so this workshop is called Money and Worth. We're going to excavating beliefs, metabolizing shame, and introducing freedom. It's happening September 19th, the first one, at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's 2 hours live. We're probably going to go over because I'm so fired up about it. And it's designed to change the way you think about yourself and money. And so if you've ever thought, I've done the work, but why doesn't it feel like enough? This is for you. So yes, do your audit, reset where you need to, anchor yourself so you don't drift. But if you're ready to shift your entire relationship with money and worth, come to this workshop. Don't wait. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just like my Magic Hour workshop that will return. This is also about building your foundation. I will link it in the show notes. I'll see you there. Pass this podcast along to anyone who you think needs it. Listen to it a couple times. I appreciate y'all. The website is myleak.com, and I will see y'all again soon.